You hear me now? No sound? Can't hear you. No volume. Okay, I'm gonna go off and do it again. I'll be back. Wait. Oh, yes, it is good? Oh, okay, you did get it? Ah, okay, great. Can't hear you, Alan. Everybody else does. We can hear you now. Alan, can you hear me now? Yes, we can't hear you now. Is that, if this is clickbait, you're gonna get reported. Well, I think I use clickbait all the time. How else you get attention? Look at me. I dress clickbait. But I have fun. I mean, that's what. Let's see. I can hear you. Okay. Yeah, it is. And it's unfortunate we have to do that in a way, but because there is so much media out there. And that's why, even though it sounds like, the headlines I do, yes, they basically are clickbait. I see they're the ones that people open. So I gotta get you, to listen. And that's what actually, my parents did not believe, or they did not admit I was their son for the first 10 years on TV, because I acted like such a fool. And they expected me to act like Henry Kissinger or some erudite intellectual, which I wasn't. So I don't know how I would do that. But to me, it was media is, first of all, I was a professor in computer science, and mostly for adults taking computer science in the evening. And so they'd be at work all day, come to college and start learning computer science for me. And the first thing I knew is I couldn't teach them anything until I kept them awake. I mean, just think of the professors or teachers you have. I mean, weren't the ones you liked the best the ones that really kept you awake? That's your first job as an educator, is to make people awake. And I'm lucky because I love making a fool of myself. So if I can get your attention first, then maybe I can teach you something, and impart something, that I've learned or understand or whatever, particularly now after 40 years. So I don't mind using clickbait as long as after you turn in, I'm not just giving bullshit all the time. Well, some people still think I do, but that's fine. But what I want to talk about today is really, about what getting a grant is all about. I mean, I'm getting more and more. If you're a Let's Go Help member on YouTube, go to the testimonials. I'm getting wonderful testimonies now, like I never have before. I've sold 4 or 5 billion books or whatever in the past, and the testimonials I'm getting now are just so much more heartfelt, because I think what I'm educating more, not from, when I was selling books, I only had a minute or two on television, or maybe a half hour, and to get them in the door. And then you got a book that was 500 pounds or whatever, and oh man, nobody did it. I mean, look at all the diet books we sell, and everybody's still fat. Nobody wants to put the work. And that's what this is about. And more people, maybe because things are so tough out there, are understanding that. Now, bear with me. I know this is self-serving. This letter just says how great I am. And truthfully, I love every word of it. But the nuns and my parents told me not to brag. But the reason I'm bragging is so you can see what the possibilities are. And that's the most important, I think, we get from testimonials. I mean, I could tell you, the grass is green or whatever. Until you see it, you ain't gonna believe it. Well, this is a nice woman, and I don't know her at all personally. I recognize her name, whatever. And she writes out, first off, this is a testimony, you see it there. I love you so much. Man, if somebody could say that to you, I mean, to me, if they're sincere about it, I mean, so many people use love in I love yellow. I love the dog. But as a human being, that's different, it seems. And so when I hear that, from somebody who's sincere about it, that's a wonderful gift. But she goes on, and this is what I want hope that we could learn from what she's done. I'm enormously grateful to you for all your amazing help that you've been sharing so generously in the Facebook group and on YouTube. Through your guidance, since I became a member back in July, I've been applying to a variety of programs to help me pay my back rent and grow my business. I have set up multiple Google alerts every day and read through the latest news and take action consistently. See, that's what I feel that, more important. You have to the alerts. Google is terrible if you're just going to use it. If you use it in a way that's useful, then it's terrific because you can't get that kind of information anywhere else. But what you're going to do if you don't know how to use that thing, you're just going to get gazillion ads of people want your money. Tomorrow I will be attending a webinar I learned about getting government contracts. The information you provided in your videos to dig deeper has led me to discover several local charities and organizations filled with caring people. You hear that? Filled with caring people, eager to help. I'm very much still in the process of getting the help I need, but that's okay. I realize that this is a process that will take some time. As you recommended, the secret is in making the calls. You hear that? Making the calls. There's a phone. See, on the other side of this camera is a telephone. There's doctor people. Making the calls and reaching out to people. Matthew, you are an absolute gem, and I love learning from you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for giving me the information I need to empower and educate myself to create a better life for my family and I. Warm thanks, Andrea. Well, that is what it takes. We're all conditioned, I feel, to just, somebody point me what to do and I'll fill in the blanks and get the money. And she did that initially too, and I get that a lot. I don't know, a couple weeks back, I said, the headline of the video was, Lesko, you made me put on my big girl pants. I wanted it all handed to me, but then realized I gotta go to work. And that's what it is. If you expect it to be handed you, and I know it'd be wonderful if you could tell me something that you need, and I know tens of hundreds of thousands, but it still is not going to work because it's a relationship. And it's a relationship that you have to create between you and the people that have help that you need. And that's why you have to get as much personal as possible, because nobody likes helping a digit. We love helping people. Do you hear what she said about the caring people at those nonprofit organizations? Right. And she got her past rent paid up. And now she's getting a free course. I remember she told me it was like a $600 course. She's paying $60 for it. And that's it. And it's like a 60-hour course, by the best professionals in the country to do this, and she's getting that. And that's what I don't know how. And that's the bad part of clickbait, is that we make it sound easy. Oh, here's $18,000 you're going to get Tuesday. No, that's possible. But more likely, you're going to have to work at it. You're going to have to find the sources. Like she said, she's now down to nonprofit organizations. She's probably going to only government offices first. No, she's now found help in nonprofit organizations from people who are caring. You ever hear that word before? And not from the CARES Act. How do you sign up for your site? Oh, thanks, Dad, for asking. He's dead, so don't worry. It's lescohelp.com, www.lescohelp.com. I'm a non-designated truck driver currently working for, didn't see the rest of that card. That's why the problem on this is to see those things that just disappear. And I can't do it well. But here's another one, and it's time. See, we don't feel we have the time. And the time is terrible when you're just going through ads. If you have a purpose. That's why I just did a report the other day on YouTube and asked me for members. It's a step-by-step of everything the process you have to go through. And that's what's neat, having all the experience I have of doing all this. I'm able to set it up more as a process to go through in the steps, because if you haven't done it before, and me doing this for 40 or 50 years, whatever the hell it is, I see, okay, here's the things that the places I check after doing this so long. So if you go out and do it for the first time, you'll go Google, get this, and go in a bunch of rabbit holes and get interested in some video, you know, whatever, and wind up, oh shit, I can't do anything. Oh, here's a guy I'll give $300 for, and he says he's going to solve all my problems. Sound good to me. But it ain't no good. It ain't no good. And more importantly, what I'm trying to do is help people get the resources and the tools to develop, and they don't come overnight. You develop these tools that you can use over and over again, not only for getting money to solve a problem, but for getting a job, finding out the latest cures to cancer. It's the same, you know, same steps that are involved. It's involved, you know, in finding people to talk to is a key step, and none of us are trained to do that. We're just trained to use Google and have somebody give us a form on the internet to fill out. And that's what the internet is full of, people who know that's what you want, and then they say, hey, give me money and do it, and it still won't work, yeah. Because it's more complicated. So many people. Now, if you want to try something, you know, what sounds like a scam, as long as it's not too much money, I'll pay you to do it. I have one person doing this, one of these places that promise you money and all this kind of stuff. And I'll give you an extra $25 or something to review it. So I'll pay for it, you buy it and review it, and tell the rest of us in the members, you know, what it is, or what it is to you anyway. You know, because I look at these other things, and some of the information looks legitimate kind of thing, but not useful. You know, that you could get as much. Yeah, you go to the government. The government was the original Google. You could get wads and wads of anything you want, you know. But how useful it is. And that's what I think I do. I'm taking things and making the government gobbledygook useful. Yeah. One of my favorite stories is how the government has a program called the Urban Homesteading Act. And that's really houses for $1. And this was like 30 years ago when I first started this. Now they're calling it houses for $1. When they used to call it the Urban Homesteading Act. And then I find things where, you know, the training money that's out there, that they don't even pay you. No, you're going to get, you know, like this woman is getting a $300 or $600 course for nothing. Wow, well that's worth real money, you know. But I'm looking for a grant for a course. No, you're not going to find that. I mean, you're going to find a free course though, that you'd have to pay $600 for. So that's what I mean about making it useful. So finding all this stuff, particularly in government publications, they write things according to laws that they have to be careful they don't break those laws when they offer this money. And what I try to do, and I've been doing for 40, 50 years, is taking what they have and saying, hey, that's not what I see they're saying. It really is something else. I could make $50,000 a year doing editing on my kitchen table. No, we call that, you know, supply economics or some bullshit. You don't know what the hell it is, you know. And it scares you away. So you think you need an expert. No, you don't need an expert. You just have to take time to digest. So how? I mean, here's another one. I got. Where is this? This woman is so nice. You are an awesome human being. I'm really working on this, and I'm having some luck, but it takes far more, many hours of work and searching, and it's well worth it. That's what life is. Life, the good stuff takes effort. If it's easy, first of all, you're going to be bored. My favorite example is, okay, you want to win all the time? You know, okay, play basketball against a 5-year-old. You win all the time. That's pretty boring. You know, and that's why you have to go out and develop your skills, develop your knowledge, and don't, oh, I can't do it. Well, Yeah, you don't do anything in the first time. You want to play football, you're not going to, I'm going to go out. No, you're going to get your ass kicked, right? But you got to go out there, get your ass kicked for a while to figure out how to sit down before they kick it. Then they can't reach it, can they? Here's another neat one. And all of these are in Let's Go Help, the testimonial. Testimonials in units. And go over the units. I got a lot of other stuff for all kinds of things, whether it's starting a business or paying healthcare bills and all that kind of stuff. To all Let's Go doubters and haters out there. I got a lot of haters, and I always have. And even from the beginning, when I used to do talk shows, from these people who used to hate the government so much, and so they'd have me on so they could beat up the government, and I didn't care. And they say, oh, let's go, the government's this and this and this and this. And what I would do, yeah, you're right, it is a pain in the ass, but did you know you get $50,000 to start a coffee shop? So if you just say yes, the argument goes away, and then you say what you want to say. That's right. When I used to write a book and travel around the country selling books, I would write a year writing the book. Then I would take a month deciding what I'm going to say, because the way I sold the books, now I'm on the, what are we going to do, 20 minutes or something like that, 30 minutes? On traditional media in the old time, no, you got a 1 minute spot on the local news or a 10-minute spot somewhere. If you got 20 minutes, that's forever. I didn't worry about 20 minutes because 90% of the ads the interviews I was going to get would be 1 to 3 minutes. So like the Today Show or things like that. You get 2-3 minutes a lot of time. So to me, I felt that was like buying an ad. If I was going to buy an advertisement on the Today Show, would I just go up and wait for them to ask questions? No. That time cost $100,000. So I would work on for about a month what I was going to say when I had a 1-minute interview, a 3-minute interview, whatever it is, because what I thought the best thing was. There are bad things about my work, sure, but when I only get a minute or two, I can't discuss them because I don't have time. See, here we have time. You call the ad, yeah, okay, yeah, you're right about this. Here's why, and all that kind of stuff. But you got a minute or two? No. So I have 3, 4, 5 things I know are the most important things people should know about this book. And no matter what they say, remember Jane Pauley? That was one of the first interviews I did on the Today Show. And she would ask me about, like, oh, let's go, you read your book? And it doesn't take a lot of work to get a contract or get a grant. And I would just say, yes. But did you know you could get $20,000 to learn how to be a massage therapist? Yeah. So and what I found out in the media, they just want to look smart. So if they dug into some question that they felt were going to trap me or something, and I just say, yes, you got me, and then go on and say what I want to get, it just takes the game away from them. So, okay, here's what he said. To all those Let's Go doubters and haters out there, this stuff works. But you have to do your part. You must educate yourself first, realize it takes work and time, and do the work. Do not expect Matthew to do it all for you. I know they do, and it is human nature, because I'm selling it and promising this. Well, show me, you asshole. No, it's there, but you got to do work too. Grants to individuals come mainly through other organizations and not directly through you. That's correctly. Although you search, some grants do exist for individual people, even more so right now. Do you want to do this work? Do you want this to work for you? Then ask yourself the most important questions ever. Do you have a library card? Do you even bother to read? Do you understand that the library is one of your best sources of information and help to learn about grants, loans, apprenticeships, and other fantastic businesses? See, I mean, that's a tool too. I mean, he's talking about library. Yeah, I believe in them so much. Yeah, especially now with the internet. Nobody knows the hell that stuff on the internet means. Yeah. Yeah. And you don't. You have to get behind it. You have to talk to people who wrote the stuff. The people whose organization it is, the people who've given out the money. Hey, what is this stuff? Is it really for me? Don't assume it's for me. Oh, here's a beautiful girl, and ask her to dance. Or ask her for a date. No, does she want to? You know, so you have to figure this out. Do a lot of things, you know, in between, before you see if that's for you. Everybody just wants to get an application and fill it out. You can't. You can. You're just gonna waste your goddamn time. And then you say, there's nothing for me. There is things for you, but it's more like panning for gold than it is filling out applications. You still have to fill out applications, yeah. But you have to get it so at least you have a 10% chance, not a 1 in a million chance, you know, of getting it. And that's the key to this, you know, and that's what I'm trying to do and teach you. And getting it down from 1 in a million to 10% or something like that, it takes work on your part. And the other thing it takes on your part is talking to people. I know it's a nasty word, but it's actually fun because nobody's used to it. And actually, here's another way too. A fellow who heard me say this somewhere. He said, "I'm terrible with people," and he wrote me this long email about how it's going to be very difficult for him to talk to people. But the email was gorgeous. He writes like a poet. I said, that's fine. Use your writing, you know, but don't use it to fill out the application. First, call anyway. Call and say, who can I send an email to get more information about this program? They give you an email address, then you know, pour your heart out, okay? And that's it. You can't have a stock, you know, there's too much information, or this is why you have to act like an asshole to get attention, you know? Or from the heart. That's what people respond to more than anything. See, the hearts. The woman who, where is she? Oh, I forget. Anyway, so I said, you know, so you send the email, and then 2 days later, hey, I want to touch base and make sure somebody got my email. You know, so-and-so got my email. Can somebody check? Yeah, so you don't have to do the crying or whatever you need to feel you have to do to help get money, and just do it that way. So there's a lot of ways, but be as personable as possible. Get on the phone, set up Google Alerts. You have to do this. In the new video I show you how to find out just the new stuff, and then where to use people to find the stuff that's already there. So don't go and Google things that try to find something that's been in the system for, you know, 6 months or more, because it'll be between so much crap already, you'll never find it. That's where you have to use people, and use people who, like me, I'll tell you the 5 best places to get anything. You go on Google right now and put government grants, what are you gonna get? You know, 150 million, billion, probably, people, you know, and you can't, it's overwhelmed. You know, you're gonna wind up just wasting a shitload of time, a shitload of money, or both. And I'll find you 10 places to start are the best chances. Now, what you do with those 10 places is you contact them. Tell them what you're doing. And is this a place for me? And they'll say yes or no or maybe. And if they say no, then you say, okay, where do you think I should go? Because they're in that business, they get this stuff like this, they study this information 24 hours a day. You know, this is the first time in your life you're doing it. You know, so that's what expertise. And your librarian gets this question lots of times. See, and so she's answered this 100 times before. So when she didn't know the first time, she went and researched and found it. Didn't know the second time, it had a little twist, so she researched it more, because that guy came back to somebody and said, no, that's not the right place. And she just do it. That's why your library is so good. They've done this for you. See, and I charge $20 and they charge nothing. And they know the local place for you, wherever you live, in, you know, the middle of Nebraska or whatever. I don't know. But a librarian in Nebraska is going to know more about the government programs there than I will. I'll show you where they likely are and what the name is, that, you know, to find it. But they're going to be touching that much more, okay? Okay, guys. Oh, by the way, my knee yesterday was a breakthrough. And so after I got up today again, it felt a whole lot better. Feels like a whole lot better today, but I started using it more, and I'm going back to bed. I think I'm good for a little while, but it's obviously healing and getting much better, and I'll be there sometime, whether it's another week or plus or minus another week, I don't know, but as long as it's going forward, that's what we have to do. Go forward, young man. And have fun doing it, because it's a pain in the butt and the knee.